screen. And now you are online. Well, so McMaster, Ashley. Okay. So, team, I think like maybe we should, you can start to introduce yourself and everything, and maybe in 2 more minutes we can start. I mean, up to you. Now it's all yours. So I'm going to stop my camera and I'm going to leave you with Tim, our NST Digital Marketing Manager. So, closing camera, closing
Your
micro.
line is now muted.
All right. Okay, Vicky's mic's off. Okay, yep. So it's all me now. All right. So I guess to introduce myself first, for those of you who know me, from the names I'm reading on the side, there's not a lot of names I recognize right now. So obviously, introduction is needed. So my name's Tim. I'm the digital marketing manager at Isaac in Canada. So I guess my main job is to manage all our forms in Isaac in Canada, our Facebook page, our Twitter page, our LinkedIn page, along with our digital marketing team, which are 8 individuals from all around the world, really helping us social media marketing in Isaac in Canada a success. Everyone can hear me, right? There's no issues right now. Just the post on the side. You guys can't hear me at any point. As well as you guys have any questions as through all this, feel free to just ask a question on the side and I'll do my best to answer it. So yeah, I'll just wait a little bit longer to see if anyone else is joining in. So this session you'll see as I go along is really up to the kind of fundamentals on how to manage all your social media platforms. When I was doing the VP proxy for my summer, last summer I was VP proxy at Marcom. I really didn't have this training, so I do think this will really help you guys out and make in jumpstarting your kind of Marcom career here at Isaac Canada and at your LC. All right, so those 2 minutes Vicky had sort of allocated to me just introducing myself has passed. I will get started. It is getting recorded, so if people can't show up, they will be able to see all this. If you are expecting other people from your LC to attend this meeting, let them know that we're starting now, just so they can hustle a little bit. All right. So the first thing I want to introduce you guys to is the team. The digital marketing team in Canada is pretty extensive. So me over here, I'm the digital marketing manager. I oversee everything. I help facilitate the communication within the team, as well as manage our LinkedIn page and any sort of additional tasks that come up. The person who works kind of in a similar position directly underneath me is Andy. You'll be working with Andy if you are a VP. He does a lot of the coaching sessions. Andy has a lot of knowledge when it comes down to managing campaigns and the pages, so he's a great source of knowledge. The next group of people I want to introduce, blog team. So that consists of 5 people: Galina, Fruzanne, Florence, Audrey, and Caroline. This team is responsible for creating unique content for Isaac in Canada, for Isaac in Canada for both students and for businesses. The next person on this team is Stephen. Stephen is our website manager. So some of you who may have been part of Isaac before have seen that the website has been revamped. That is all Stephen. A person who's a newer addition to our team is Vincent. Vincent is our designer. So any sort of digital marketing related designs are created by him. So we are the team. If you ever have any questions, or you ever need any help, when it comes down maybe like creating your own blog posts or making designs, you can always reach out to one of us. We're more than happy to help. All right. I'm kind of bummed out actually right now. I had really cool slide transitions and all this, but I guess that didn't work out. So the agenda for tonight. There's 4 things I am going to cover. Thing is calendar. For the VPs in this meeting, you will know that I sent you a email a couple of weeks ago talking about the social media calendar. If you had questions then, this session is going to be useful to help answer those questions. The next thing is so what you are able to post on these platforms that were agreed upon in NC, as well as what not to do when managing your platforms. The next is social media management, so how to execute these campaigns. There'll be a heavy focus on scheduling in this case. The next one is regarding blog information. It's just teaching you guys a little bit more about the blogs and how you can leverage those in your social media campaigns. All right. So the first topic we're going to go over is the social media calendar. So what is it and how do you use it? So just also for reference, there is 2 slides associated with this. So if you guys think it's not clear after the first slide, hold off on questions a little bit. There's a good shot I will answer those questions in the next slide. All right, so this is the part of the social media calendar created by Andy and I. So the first thing you'll see is the 2 columns, the focus topic as well as the post content. So what does each one of these columns mean? The first one, the focus topic, is a topic that the VPs agreed upon in NC. I'll go over what those topics are specifically as we go through the meeting. But for example, if we are looking at a Facebook page, that might include Isaac, leadership, and EP testimonials as a focus topic. The next column over here is post content. So this is the actual sort of text that you are posting along with your post. So for example, if you're posting an EP testimonial, the text could be something along the lines, meet Bob, who was one of our EPs who traveled to Brazil this summer. Bob had a phenomenal experience, blah, 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 blah. Learn more here, for example. So something I really do want to mention about social media calendars as well in general, which I didn't include on the slides. In the social media calendar, the VPs that you have received, there were 3 tabs for LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. You do not need to fill out all those tabs if you do not have a LinkedIn page or Twitter page, for example. As well, while I have included kind of like the option to post twice a day, 7 days a week, for as you can see, that doesn't mean you have to fill out this entire calendar. With that being said, it's a very bad thing to just have a pure bare calendar, because obviously you're not engaging your target audience to the best of your abilities. But with that being said, don't feel the kind of the urge to fill the entire column out, each individual row out, sorry. All right, so I'm going to go to the next slide. All right, so the next column, hashtags, that is just more or less where you guys can create your hashtags to include in your posts. For Twitter, it's more or less, I guess I would say, necessary, just because that's the best way. That is like one of Twitter's kind of like fundamental benefits. As well as kind of creating the hashtags, it's useful to kind of organize your campaigns. So having the same hashtag for example, your Global Citizen campaign really will help you guys organize everything. The next one that I'm going to talk about, the call to action. This is extremely important. So the call to action is sort of what you are doing to essentially raise leads. So if you're doing digital marketing and marketing through social media, ultimately what you want to do is get people to sign up for your programs. It's great to post content and it's great to manage your platforms, but ultimately if you're not leveraging those connections to leads generated, your campaigns aren't a success. So these call to actions don't get really complicated. Personally, what we do in the iSync Canada page is essentially just post the isynccanada.ca link to the respective program that we are promoting. So, for example, we're promoting Global Citizen. We just include the apply here Global Citizen. It's nothing fancy, it's nothing special as you can tell, but it's absolutely essential to generate sort of traffic to the page and generate the leads. The next part over here, type of content, is just more or less categorizing what content you're posting. So if you're posting a blog, you just put a little X there saying that's a blog. Or if you're posting a photo, a little X there saying that it's a photo. This is just to help me and Andy as we go through all these social media calendars, because there are a lot of them. It does kind of just give us a general idea of what type of content you're posting. Finally, over here at the edge, the last two columns, as you can see, are the analytics. So the reach and the engagement. This will be done at the end of every month. Ultimately, you guys don't know how many people you engaged with that post or how many people you reached with that post until, until the post has actually been completed. So you can fill that out at the end of every month. So just kind of also general reminders about the social media calendar. The first thing is that they are due the 25th of every month. So this month we were a little bit, I guess, we understood that we hadn't had this educational cycle yet. So we did push that back until the 28th, which is tomorrow. With that being said, we do expect them all to be completed for tomorrow. If there are further questions, you can reach out to me. I am a little bit busy tonight. However, I will do my absolute best to answer all those questions tomorrow. So yes, make sure you hand them in to the Facebook Drive that I created a couple weeks ago, pardon me. Me and Andy will go through them and we will provide you feedback within 3 business days. All right, no, not 3 business days, sorry, 3 days. So used to the commerce way of doing this. Yeah. Anything else I can include in this? Yeah, okay, I guess if you have more questions about the analytics, there is another educational cycle tomorrow that specifically focuses on analytics. So if you don't know where to find reach or where to find engagements, stuff like that, I will go over that tomorrow. Any questions right now about any of the things I've just mentioned? Or can I go ahead, everyone? Go ahead. Okay, sounds good. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about are the NC topics. So basically, these are topics that the VPs have agreed upon have decided to focus on when promoting Isaac in Canada. Also included in this is what not to do, and also how to manage a national campaign. All right, so the first one that everyone obviously knows is one of our largest. It is our largest sort of social media platform is Facebook. Facebook, just for those who may not exactly understand how they should be leveraging Facebook, Facebook ultimately is kind of your central hub of information. It is supposed to be professional enough, as well, but be informal enough to engage students. So it really is kind of your heart, is what your organization stands for. All right. So what topics are included in this? So ultimately, Isaac, so everything Isaac related, leadership, traveling, EP testimonials, multiculturalism, recruitment info. So in this case, what recruitment info means is stuff like your info sessions for your GC, or your global leader recruitment sessions, things along those lines, as well as partnerships. So who you have previously worked with in the past. So these are like, I guess, the Facebook topics that are approved by all the VPs, and we expect you guys to follow. The next one is Twitter. So Twitter, as you guys know, is a very informal platform. Is really beneficial to use for real-time updates. It's really kind of what you're thinking that immediate moment. So this is why I call it kind of like the emotions of your LC, of your organization. What is actually in the topics, so what are approved topics in this case? So they are very similar to the Facebook topics, based on the fact that both of them are fairly informal. The one I do want to focus on a little bit more are event updates. This is the one you should be using if you guys are trying to give real-time updates about what exactly is happening in your LC, just because it doesn't always necessarily give off the best sort of image, a brand image, if you're constantly posting random tidbits of information on your Facebook page. With that being said, we understand a lot of you guys don't have a Twitter platform. So essentially, if you are using Facebook in that case, don't go overboard. All right. The next one I want to talk about is LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is very much how you want to be seen by external stakeholders. So businesses, potential TNs, which are businesses you want to engage in to try to bring in exchange participants for the GIP program. So as you can see over here as well, they are very different. The topics are very different. So Isaac and leadership are always going to be extremely important. However, things like innovation, thinking of new ideas, showcasing your TNs and success stories of other businesses' experiences with interns coming into the country. Professional development, so how can you improve your skills to succeed in the workplace in the future? Recruitment, which is different than the one I previously just talked about in Facebook, about Facebook. Recruitment in this case is more for job recruitment and recruiting for future professional success, as well as partnerships. Once again, who you partnered, which credible organizations you are partnered with. So, like I said, these are kind of the topics that are approved by, I guess, all UVPs. There is no kind of excuses to really deviate from these topics. All right, so the what not to do when it comes down to digital marketing. So the first one, as I've kind of gone over before as well, is the use of other topics. If you try to showcase stuff like multiculturalism, trying to think. You try to do something, say, showcasing EP testimonials on LinkedIn, ultimately you're not reaching the right demographic. LinkedIn is really, the way we use LinkedIn is to really leverage our sort of value to businesses. So if you're just talking about EP testimonials, in that case, for example, like using the same example, that the EP testimonials should be more focused towards students. So you're really kind of having channel miscommunication there. So when we have set these topics up for you, it really is for the benefit of your LC. So try to stay with these topics as much as possible. So the next thing is creating platforms. So I'm talking about all these like topics that you can create. All these topics that, I'm talking about all these topics that you can put onto these platforms. I'm showing you guys ways to kind of leverage the digital marketing to get leads. However, that being said, don't create a LinkedIn page for the sake of creating a LinkedIn page, because ultimately it's worse to have a platform that is mismanaged than not to have that platform at all. However, me and Dylan, our business specialist on the NST, are talking about creating a sort of LinkedIn tutorial for all you guys. So if you are interested in creating these platforms, do talk to me or Andy. We are more than happy to help in creating these platforms with you guys, so you are able to succeed in your digital marketing. But like I said, don't just create these platforms for the sake of creating platforms, because it will do more harm than good. The next thing that I want to talk about is not having brand aligned material. So Isaac in general does have brands guidelines. So these are guidelines that everyone should follow, not just the national entities, but at local levels as well. Just because if someone were to look at, say, Isaac Queens and then Isaac in Canada, and they are so different based on what material they're posting. It doesn't communicate what the right thing. Companies will probably get more dissuaded from working with us just based on the fact it doesn't look like we have it together. So make sure your material is brand aligned before you start posting it. We've just introduced Podio, which is our sort of design tool, where we do have designers looking over your material to make sure that everything is brand aligned, as well as giving you guys help and recommendations for making it prettier or making it better or communicating the right things. So having that platform is a very valuable sort of tool to make sure everything is brand aligned, so there shouldn't be any issues in that case. Also, kind of building on this idea of not brand aligned material. Everyone is able to see your social media platforms. So I know a lot of you guys are very proud of things such as LCP elections. Also very proud of your OC teams for your conferences. And all of that is stuff you should be very, very proud of. I want you guys to kind of think of it as an external stakeholder. So someone who has no idea what Isaac is, has never heard of it, and for the first time ever is looking at your social media page. So the first thing they're going to see are people in togas dumping water on one person. It's really fun. We all love LCP elections. We all participated in them. We all thought it was a great time. But you guys also have to think of it, and if you're posting that on your social media platforms, you have to think of it the way externals will see it. To them, it's just a really weird organization all dressed up in togas. So if you're trying to raise a TN and they start looking you up and they see that and you want to be the ones bringing in talent for them, are they necessarily going to believe you? I let you guys think about that for a second. So even though posting that content is really fun, it doesn't exactly forward your goal. All right. So I would strongly dissuade you and recommend that you do not post it on your social media platforms, to your Facebook groups or like your internal sort of like portfolio groups. It is content that should be shared within amongst Isaacers. So like if you guys want to share it in the Isaac in Canada 2016 Facebook page, by all means, go for it. It's not something external stakeholders should necessarily see. All right. So the next thing is about mixing campaigns. So ultimately, we have three main products: Global Citizen, Global Leader, Global Talent. The worst thing you can do is try to mix those campaigns up, so people think they're signing up for one thing and in reality getting another. So, for example, if someone is trying to sign up for a Global Talent sort of internship, however, they're first year, so they only apply for GC, but in the entire sort of process, they think they're applying for Global Talent. And they show up to that consultation, and you tell them that, oh no, you're in the wrong program, all based on the fact that they signed up on your Facebook pages. Since they signed up on your Facebook page, and they end up showing up for the wrong thing, ultimately they're not going to really like that, right? To them, it's almost like they're wasting their time. They're probably going to look down on the organization. So if you are running campaigns, make sure the campaigns are clear, specific, and there's not two campaigns overlapping, just because that really does sort of take away from the message you're trying to communicate. Yeah, so those are all the kind of like things I would make sure you do not do when managing these campaigns, because ultimately it probably detracts from the success of your digital marketing campaigns. All right. So the final thing I will talk about before taking some questions is supporting national campaigns. So what I mean by this is layering your campaigns by having a variety of content. So when I was doing my sort of proxy term as a VP, something that I learned very quickly is that you can't be entirely product focused. So what I mean by that, You can't just keep pushing GC on people. You can't just be pushing like, oh, come with us and go for a volunteer opportunity. It'll be so great. Do it, do it, do it. Because ultimately people get very annoyed by that, and they actually will stay away from your organization. The best way to kind of prevent that from happening is posting a variety of content. So posting things related to your products is definitely not a bad thing. But there's definitely a lot of there's definitely a lot more content that you can post that will ultimately do the same thing and not push away your target market. Posting stuff like NST content, a blog NST specific to sort of like these campaigns, as well as having relevant news articles, something related to international volunteer experience, LC success stories, so EPs that have gone abroad, relevant videos, so TED Talks about the value of like globalization, for example, as well as your people, so why you do this to help people, for example, go and succeed on international volunteer experiences. All these things promote your global citizen campaign. But as you guys see, it's not just product focused. It's not just join global citizen, join global citizen. It is a lot of different things that add value to that campaign. So yeah, at this point, I'll take some more questions if any of you guys have them. I did throw a lot of content out at you guys. So is there any questions right now, or would you guys like me just to go ahead? All right, go ahead. I'll wait another maybe like 30 seconds just to see if anyone else shoots me a quick question. Okay, are there any time limits for videos? So when you're asking me that question, are you talking about videos that you guys are creating or stuff like TED Talks, for example? So is this unique content, or is it sort of like content you're sharing? Both, okay. So there's no kind of like preset limit on these videos. So if you post a TED Talks about, say, volunteer experience, for example, there's nothing stating that you have to finish in 15 seconds. However, with that being said, on social media, people's attention spans are pretty small. If you post like a 10-minute video about, one of your EPs and it's an entire interview, ultimately people are not going to listen to the entire thing. So I would strongly recommend shorter videos around the 2 minutes, 30 seconds range. But like to answer your question, there's no real time limit on these videos. Yeah, no worries. All right. Any other questions, guys, or can I go ahead? All right, judging by the silence, seems like I can go ahead. If you guys do have questions, though, remember you can just post it on the side group chat, and I'll be happy to help. All right, so social media management. Like I said, this is going to be very focused on scheduling your posts. So the benefits of scheduling, I'll just go over that a little bit quickly. You guys are all students. You're all pretty busy. I know for a fact I'm very busy. So if I was to try to, if I'm trying to remember that I have to post something by 1 p.m. Tomorrow, for example, by the time I wake up tomorrow, I've probably forgotten that. So scheduling, as you kind of see just with that example, is super helpful just to make sure what you want to get out gets out there. All right. So I'm going to focus a little bit more on Facebook sort of scheduling, just because that is most likely your main platform for communication. So, yeah. So, I guess first, I will mention just a couple like little things about scheduling and posting, just to give you guys a little bit of advice. All right, so the first thing is we have personally found at Isaac Canada that posting at 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 5 p.m. are the optimal posting times. With that being said, we do understand that LCs do have different realities. What I just want to kind of remind you guys is that just because more people see your content, say at 10 p.m., 11 p.m. at night, doesn't necessarily mean you're getting the right engagement. If someone is just kind of scrolling through Facebook at like midnight, doesn't mean they want to actually read any of the things that you guys just posted, for example. All that means they're ready to go to bed. And everyone in your university is going to bed at the exact same time, for example. So 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 5 p.m. seem to be the best times for actual engagement. So just remember that. The next thing is also when you're scheduling these things, make sure you're not scheduling everything that's just purely product focused. I told you guys why that's a bad idea before. I just won't go over it. I won't go over it again. The final thing is to actually schedule. I'm going to tell you guys the benefits of scheduling, but if you guys actually don't schedule, it doesn't really, forward your cause. So do the scheduling. It works. It's good. You will be better with it. All right? Doing all this will boost your post reach, will boost your post engagement, so it will ultimately make your campaigns more successful. So, how to make a scheduled post. So, the first thing, as you guys can see, is to go to publishing tools. So from there, you guys will be able to access kind of the scheduling function of your Facebook page. All right. So here's a little bit more of like a two-step process. So what you just need to remember is when you are scheduling a post, make sure you first click the scheduled posts sort of tab on the side. So once you select that, that's when you will be able to start scheduling posts in. Once you guys have hit the schedule post tab, just hit create, and that will bring you to the actual scheduling portion of the, bring you to the scheduling part of your post. All right. So over here, I kind of just included a sort of just a text, like just sort of like an example for the schedule. As with posting on Facebook in real time, you can make a post, you can add a video, you can add a photo, you can add a website link, just like you're to publish a post at that exact moment. Once you guys got that all done, what you will just need to go to is schedule. Pretty obvious where that is. Yeah, so over here, you do have a couple of options to actually do the scheduling. First thing you can do is you can decide which day you want to schedule your posts in. So, for example, if you want to, today is the 27th, say you want to post on Friday. All you have to do is change that 20 to a 29. So now you're posting on the 29th of January. Then say you want to post at 5 p.m. What you will have to do, I'm actually going to explain this a little bit more in detail, just because I have personally found when I started doing scheduling this to be very annoying. You have to highlight each individual kind of portion of this time and change the numbers one by one. So when I first was trying to do this, I tried to just highlight everything, just put like 5 p.m. It wouldn't let me do that. So I have to do, what you will have to do is highlight that 9 and change it to a 5. Then you'll have to highlight that 17, change that to 00. Then after that, if you want to say, keep it at PM, you can keep it at PM. But say you want to change it to AM, you type in an A, then it'll change it to an AM. So it's kind of annoying. You can't just sort of like just delete everything and put in the time you wanted. But that's just something I want to let you guys know of ahead of time, just so you don't run into that frustration. So yeah, after that, you just hit schedule one more time, and your post is officially scheduled. It will show up on your timeline at the date and time you have set. So yeah, that is creating a scheduled post. And ultimately, doing all these things really is the best way to kind of manage your marketing. By doing the scheduling, you're not adding any more to your plate. In that case, any sort of management you're doing on your social media platforms is to respond to your customers. So if people have questions, you're not always worrying about, am I posting enough, stuff like that. You can just answer their question, answer their messages. By doing all this, you actually get proper page analysis. So by scheduling in your posts ahead of time and not forgetting the posts, you actually will see how many people you can truly reach out to in your university. Like if you say we're planning on having 3 posts one week, but end up only remembering to post 1, your post reach or your post engagement don't exactly reflect your probable reality. So doing the scheduling really does help with your analysis. Continues to help you reach your target market, just for similar reasons. Yeah, Mosey, I'll take your question just once I go over the next 2 points. Yeah, don't worry, I'm more than happy to answer. Yeah, so having your target, so being able to kind of post everything and schedule it ahead of time really allows you to engage your target market because you are able to actually have your content out there. And finally, posting content generates page views, generates more likes, generates more awareness on campus, and ultimately will generate more leads signing up for your programs. So by doing the scheduling and managing your marketing in this way, you will see more success. And yeah, Mosey, what's your question? Any recommended number for posts in a week? Okay, so I'm going to relate this back a little bit to the social media calendar. So on weekdays, don't post more than twice a day. So that would be sort of the first thing. Once you're trying to post 3-4 times a day, then you're kind of oversaturating your targets with too many messages, and that might actually just attract some people visiting your page and working with you. On weekends, post only once a day. People don't care about seeing volunteer opportunities on the weekend, and they just worked hard for the entire week. Even managing the national Facebook page, we've kind of followed this rule. Is there any recommended number of posts per week? That's a little bit of a tricky question. How many people currently like your Facebook page, Mosey? Because a lot of it does kind of depend on the number of people you are currently engaged with. Because, for example, in ISIC Canada, we have a lot of fans, so we have to engage all those fans as often as possible. So how many people do you guys have? Around 1,800? Okay, that's pretty big. If you have that many people, on average, I'll probably say that around, if you have that many fans, I'd say about 3 times a week. 3 times a week should be able to do the job. Average post reach I've found for a lot of these things is around 600. If you want to reach presumably every single one of those fans, you'd have to post around 3 times. So That's what I would say. With that in mind, there's no exactly fixed number of times you should post a week, but for your specific case, I'd say around 3. So with that being said, again, like talking to all of you guys, it is kind of based on your reality. Don't post only once a week. That doesn't get your name out there enough. If I were to kind of put a base minimum around 3, but I wouldn't say there's any sort of specific things like, oh, if you post 5 things, it's going to go all downhill from there. Just don't post more than twice a day, every day of the week. All right. So the next thing I want to talk about is blogs. So with the blogs, these are actually on the Isaac in Canada Facebook page. These are our most popular. This is our most popular content. So these blogs are really getting shared by a lot of people, along with getting actually a lot of engagement. Basically, a lot of people share these, a lot of people like these, and they actually reach a lot of people. Since so many people share our blogs, it does reach a lot of additional customers that we never would have really thought of reaching if we didn't use these blogs. So these blogs, extremely valuable. Use them as much as you can. All right. So talking a little bit about the Isaac in Canada current blog structure, we run 2 blogs. So a student blog and a business blog. So one blog focusing on students, one blog focusing on businesses. Like I said, it's all unique content. So it's all content generated by your Isaac in Canada NST for the reason of engaging new markets and new customers. So we have 3 blogs weekly. One blog that's in English for students, one blog that is in English for businesses, as well as one French blog that is business students. So we kind of alternate. The blogs are posted Monday. The English student blog is posted Wednesday, and our business blog is posted Friday. You can find all these blogs on the Isaac Canada website, so isaac.ca. Right? We do share these blogs as well, like I said, on Facebook and LinkedIn. So you are also able to find them there on our national pages. So the purpose of these blogs are really to kind of add value to the campaigns that we're currently running. So right now, the blog team is working on creating blogs that help promote global citizen and global talent. With that being said, we are always open to new ideas. So if you have any ideas for the global citizen blog, for example, that will reach students, be free to reach out to any of the members on the blog team. So Fruzan, Galina, Florence, Audrey, and Caroline. And they are more than happy to begin, I guess. They're more than happy to sort of take your ideas in consideration and try to incorporate them into a blog. All right. So guys, that is everything from me. That's all the educating I have currently planned for all of you. Tomorrow I am going over analytics. So I'll teach you guys how to read the numbers behind your social media campaigns. But if you guys do have any questions, or if you guys do have any sort of things you want me to answer right now, I am more than happy to do that. All right? Yeah, no worries, Kathleen. I'm always happy to help. All right? Like I said, I guess I'll say I do a lot of these coaching sessions. So if you ever sort of find the need to, I guess, have a coaching session, Vicky did send out an email a couple of weeks ago with our links, as well as I have sent an email out to you, the VPs. So if you guys do have questions, let me know, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Okay, so do I have a list of successful media sources that I would. Okay, cool. The answer to that is no. I don't have sort of a like set list of things I always go back to. With that being said, like stuff like the New York Times, Huffington Post, TED Talks, any sort of reputable, I guess, media source, I am always more than happy using. Things to keep in mind when using these sources, though, is to make sure they are current and relevant. So if you see an article from 2007, the 2007 to 2016 market are very different. So I would strongly suggest you stay away from that if you're looking to share that sort of content. And then, yeah, Megan, yeah, no worries. I'm really happy to help. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to me. Yeah, no worries. No worries, Kyla. All right. So yeah, keep shooting messages to me. Yeah, no worries, Catherine. So, like, as you guys know, we are running the next level campaign right now. So stay in this meeting for a little bit so I can record who's here, so I can get you guys the points. Okay, yeah, so my email, I'll just type that into the group chat. There you go, yeah. So that is my email. If you ever have questions, yeah, feel free to reach out to me. I'm usually pretty good about responding, especially when I'm back in school. If I am away on a break, for example, like reading week, I'm not as good as answering my emails, but usually I will get back to you within 2 days. Yeah, so let me just record who is here, just so you guys can get your points for your campaigns. At the next level, Rigi, you know it. Okay, this pen was broken. Let me find another one. Okay. So, yeah, sorry, 2F. So I'll retype that. Yeah, so there's 2 Fs, not 3. My bad. Okay, yeah, so yeah, sorry, I forgot about that. Vicky, thank you, Vicky. If you have a Twitter page, LinkedIn page, and Facebook page, make sure you send me a calendar for all 3 platforms. Don't just send me a platform for, don't send me just your Facebook page planning if you're planning on using LinkedIn and Twitter as well. That's a good question, Ruji. I actually don't know. Vicky, do you have any sort of response to that?
Okay.
Your line is now unmuted.
I think HotSuite is a very good tool, guys, if you are trying to get more content. So if you want, like what we can do, we can start to manage this all content with the social media calendar, and we can prepare for you a HotSuite training, how you can use it and how to take advantage of this, because it's very useful if you are trying to get content in terms of even the topics that we already have. Is going to be very useful. So what we can do is like prepare a HotSuite training, but now, as you said, Ruyi, let's keep it simple. Let's start to check the social media calendar, the analytics by there, and after one we are like on the road, we can prepare for the next couple of months a training about HotSuite. Exactly, Catherine. Also, it's very useful for scheduled posts, not just for Facebook. Also, all your social media you can schedule by there. But yeah, as I told you, I think let's keep it simple now. If you have a lot of social media channels, maybe reach us out in order to check with you HotSuite. But now, just focus on try to get the yes, try to send these calendars, and if you really want to explore HotSuite, we can do it for sure. We can prepare something for you.
Okay.
Your line is now muted.
Shika, sorry if I mispronounced her name. When you say from Montreal, you mean from Ashesik? Or do you mean like McGill? Concordia, okay. None of those. Okay, and I think it was, yeah, Ashley. When you say Oakville, you mean McMaster, right? I think you told us at the beginning of the meeting. McMaster, all right. Sweet. Okay, yes, I got that all recorded. So yeah, do you guys have any more questions for me? I'm more than happy to help. You guys got me for another Okay, Megan, thanks for letting me know. Sweet. Okay, yeah, any more questions, guys? You guys got me for another about 5-10 minutes or so.
Your line is now unmuted.
If you don't have questions, guys, send a team a happy face, because I think he did an amazing job to say thank you to Team. And if Team, you already have their names?
Yep, I got everything.
Okay, cool. So if you don't have any questions, send a happy face to Team. Thank you so much. Thanks,
all right.
Team.
You're welcome, everyone. Happy to help.
Thanks for attending, guys.
Yeah. Thanks to everyone for coming. Hope this really did help you guys out. If you guys do have any more questions, let me know.
Your line is now muted.
You are all free to go.